A very good morning to ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, we would like to thank our lecturer for giving us an opportunity to be here today. Before I begin, I would like to introduce ourselves. I'm GOOI and my registration number is 01DPM20F1011, while my partner Syazwana BINTI JOHARI and her registration number is 01DPM20F1016. My dear fellow friends, do you ever hear for depression? Do you know why today's teenagers are more depressed than ever? Or do you know why are so many teenagers depressed? Well, today, we are going to talk about depression among teenagers. Please allow me to define our rules. I will talk about the causes of depression, while my partner will explain the ways to overcome depression among teenagers. My dear friends, my first point regarding for cause of depression is family history and genetic. You are more likely to experience symptoms of depression if others in your family also have depression or another type of mood disorder. Research has demonstrated that genes play a role in some risk for many health conditions, including depression. Research has also indicated that someone with a first-degree relative diagnosed with depression may be 3 times more likely to be diagnosed with depression in their lifetime compared to the general population. However, it is important to note that while studies have suggested a clear link within families, these findings don't account for many people who develop depression without a family history. I have just discussed how family history and genetic cause depression. Please allow me to move to the next point. Traumatic early life events also cause depression. There are many different experiences that constitute trauma. Childhood trauma is an event experienced by a child that threatens their life or bodily integrity. For example, physical or sexual abuse can be clearly traumatic for children. One-time events like a car accident, natural disaster, or medical trauma can take a psychological toll on children as well. Other than that, ongoing stress, such as living in a dangerous neighborhood or being victim of bullying, can also be traumatic. Childhood trauma doesn't have to occur directly to the children. For instance, watching a loved friend suffer can be extremely traumatic as well. Or exposure to violent media can also traumatize children. Individuals who have experienced childhood trauma are likely to experience stress and anxiety later in life. This long-term stress and anxiety can cause physical symptoms as well as emotional issues throughout the life. As what I have explained just now, childhood trauma creates a fractured foundation for the children and for the rest of their life and lead to depression. Now, I will move to the third point. Negative thinking can also be a cause of depression. Negative thinking is something we all engage in from time to time, but constant negatively can destroy your mental health, leaving you depressed and anxious. Negative thinking can be detrimental to your mental health and quality of life, particularly when you can't stop. According to the power of positivity, there are 3 leading causes of negative thoughts. The first cause is fear of the future. People often fear the unknown and are unsure what the future might bring. This often leads to catastrophizing, which means always predicting failure and disaster. The second cause is anxiety about the present. Anxiety about the present is understandable. Many of us worry about what people think of us or whether we're doing a good job in our study or work. The third cause is shame about the past. Have you ever lain awake worrying about something you did last week or even last year? Everyone does and says things they feel embarrassed about, but negative thinkers tend to dwell on past mistakes and feel more than others. Lastly, I need to tell you that we must always be optimistic in everything and avoid constant negative thinking in our life. As a conclusion for the detail I have mentioned in my third point is, negative thinking can destroy your mental health and cause you depressed. Now, I will call upon my friend Syazwana to continue with our presentation.
Thank you so much, GOOI. Before I start, let me introduce myself first. Hello everyone, my name is Syazwana BINTI JOHARI. My fellow friends, do you agree that every problem has a solution? Yes, definitely. So what exactly can we do to cure these depressions? First and foremost, we must exercise regularly. It is better with friends. This is to make sure that we use our time wisely rather than we spend our time alone to ruminate a lot. You can't find a way to beat depression simply if you did not take a good care of your body properly. Exercise also makes you sleep better. In other words, exercise not only changes your body, it changes your mind, your attitude, and your mood. Next, we also ought not to mess up with our sleep schedule. We have to make sure that we get enough sleep as much as 8 to 9 hours consistently. This is because a good sleep will avoid you from dwelling with the past or thinking about the future when staying up for too late. Therefore, prioritizing good sleep is a good self-love. Last but not least, it is normal for some of us to feel shy about going to a psychiatrist or a counselor. There may be an anxiety about being judged by the others. You may feel fear that other people might believe that you have a mental disorder, but it is a must for you to seek a professional help. This is to unravel the causes underlying a mental illness and at the same time to have the right diagnosis. A professional understands the mind, could provide you guidance on life struggles. And besides, it is a safe place for you to discuss private matters, someone you can really trust. In brief, just because no one is able to heal or do your inner work for you, it doesn't mean you should or need to do it alone. My dear friends, we have come to the conclusion. Today, my partner has talked about factors of depression among teenagers. She has discussed 3 key points, that is, family history and genetics, traumatic early life events, and negative thinking. While I have discussed ways to overcome depressions among teenagers, that is, exercise regularly, get on good sleep, and seek for professional help. To sum up our talks today, we have to be strong enough to stand alone, smart enough to know when you need help, and brave enough to ask for it. So when you have something bothering you, don't bottle up. Do you have any question regarding this matter? You could ask in the comment below. We will be glad to answer any question that you might have. Thank you in advance for your questions. Again, thank you for being such a wonderful audience. It was a great absolute pleasure for us to be here today. Thank you for lending me your ears.